You're listening to the YTFA podcast.
Welcome one and all to the YTFA podcast, where we discuss current events, give advice, and review the videos used in Into. Without further ado, I'm Father Fakuro, the guest of today's podcast, and I was invited by the three hosts, Lord Pyramon, Downcast Spark, and Parnell Animation.
Yo, he kind of.
Without further ado, welcome to the family.
You kind of got
about that.
showed up, James. Kind of got showed up.
You got showed up on your own show. How do you feel?
The same way I feel every day. Stinky.
Hungry?
Trying to take over the world?
Craving
Hold on.
pizza?
I'm
That's
so
how
glad
feel
that
every
I'm
day.
yeah.
So,
I'm so glad.
I believe we have Kuro here for a reason, do we not?
Do we?
Yes. You see, guys, what I have learned recently is we all ramble, we say random bullshit, and we're barely comprehensible on a good day. I'm gonna be honest. And this is partially my fault for always talking about things like poop and Sonic the Hedgehog. But hear me out. I brought Kuro in to coach us on how to be better at voiceover and voice acting. Kuro, would you like to introduce yourself and your qualifications here so James understands?
Well, first of all, yes, I'm Father Fakuro. Well, basically, Pyro does on YouTube what I do, but just that Pyro does it better. About the voice acting part, yes, I did study it for a bit. I have learned from German voice actors because I went to a German media university, and I learned from Christopher Groß and Sabine von Rosenberg-Lipinski specifically. Yet after like half a year, maybe a bit longer, the university went bankrupt after I started. So yeah, the thing is, I got access to all of the scripts that the uni has, which includes the voice acting scripts, which I've read through and studied, of course. And I've summarized the more basic things for this podcast down into some very basic notes, because I think specifically voice over and voice training, or rather really voice recording tips, are applicable to basically every niche on YouTube, which is why I summarized that mostly and just go with the voice acting stuff from the top of my head, which is not something I'm good with, but we'll make it work. Now, to basically summarize a few things that Christopher Groß and Sabine von Rosenthal-Lipinski did and voiced and spoke. Christopher Groß spoke Freddy in Medieval, Kane Fieri in Full Metal Alchemist, Quinn in Kings, Big Lost Lamb in The Night Comes For Us, and Hank in Scare Package, among many other things. I think he was also in the German translation for Stranger Things, but I couldn't find out which character he voiced, which is why I didn't list it here, but as far as I'm aware, he did voice a character in Stranger Things, at least in the German version. Of course, obviously with him being a German voice actor and all. Sabine von Rosenberg-Lipinski is... I don't know why I call her Rosenthal. He's called Rosenberg. God, I'm an idiot. Sabine von Rosenberg-Lipinski is more of an audiobook reader, and she voiced Die Maxwells, Falsch Verliebt, Escanor, Edingard, and Velet in Tod, among, again, other things. They have websites. If you just type in their names on Google, you can find everything they have voiced on these websites. And
So
I've
they're
learned
pretty,
directly from them.
Pretty skilled in their field from the sounds.
yeah, clearly very experienced voice actor and voiceover artist to learn from. They're
Now
So-
here's
Definitely, they're also
clearly, you
really,
could get
really
us
cool
on track.
people.
Now here's what's cool about this, because we're kind of have like the perspective of two different people. One that is more skilled in the field, and one that is very new to voice acting. So like something I'm not very open about, but you might have seen on my YouTube channel and stuff. I have been getting more into voice acting. I recently just auditioned for
really cool.
4 different characters in an indie animated show coming up. Bunderkin, which either way I'm gonna be watching because it looks good. Like the animation looks beautiful. You should check out the like the project. It looks like there's a lot of love behind it. But one thing that I noticed is getting into like any kind of acting, whether it be film acting, theater, voice acting. It's really hard to get your foot in the door, no matter how talented you are, no matter how
definitely.
much you
The
know.
thing is, there's really only 2 ways to get into those fields, especially voice acting. There's only 2 proper ways to get into voice acting, or like 2.5, really. The reason why I say 2.5, I'll explain in a second, because the theoretical third one is very rare to actually see. The first thing is actually already being a renowned and known actor that they decide to pick, because it's called voice acting for a reason, and the whole body basically changes, which I will talk about once we get to our first vocal exercise. I have one vocal exercise and one exercise more focused on acting prepared.
Ooh, fancy.
It's gonna be so
Because-
fun. I love doing that
yeah.
stuff.
James, are you excited?
So
Are you excited to get some voice
yes,
acting?
I
in you?
will get
I am very excited, yes.
So yes, I will get you three to say or well to act one sentence in various ways and tones, which is pretty funny. I think it's also the exact same example that I did in the university, which was hilarious.
Ooh, okay. I'm actually really
Okay.
excited now. Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Dude, guys, look, you're watching us get better at voice acting in real time, and me and Jack do voice acting, and James is
Well,
there. I don't
James
know.
does voiceover.
That is
He
true.
does
He
Yeah.
does.
voiceover
You do
for his videos
voiceover,
all
you
the
know,
time.
Voiceover is like a narration, which is a type of voice acting, actually. So yeah, that does count.
In a way, yes, in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
I do
Officially,
voice some of my characters, not particularly
True that.
well, but
True
you
that.
know, technically.
well,
True that.
get good.
The thing-
We're getting good
The thing with
today.
the thing with that is that there's really just three ways, or well, three subsections, so to say. In German, they are, because I studied in German, so I can say them in German better. I will provide a translation, of course. You study it in 3 years, which is how it was for me. The first year was just Sprecher or speaker, which is more for advertising and voiceovers and those translations in documentaries where one voice talks over the original voice to translate what they're saying, which is actually extremely hard to do. Like, seriously, it is really, really hard to do.
I can
I've
imagine you probably have
not-
to enunciate really carefully with that stuff, right?
Yeah, because in the way it's done, you have to start like 1 second after the person you're translating started talking, and you have to end a few seconds before they stop, which is really hard to do.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
pay attention to it next time you watch a documentary, which I actually enjoy doing.
I don't watch too many documentaries. I watch the occasional one. It's usually about like film
There is-
history or or
there is
animation
a
history.
great channel for that on YouTube, actually. I really like what they do. It's called Fern, and they make pretty much just cinema or Netflix great documentaries. They're
Ooh.
absolutely amazing and stunning. And they sometimes even sort of translate those videos into German on the German canal Simplicissimus, which is actually really, really cool. And the same people that work for Fern or that work on Fern also work on Simplicissimus.
I actually didn't know that.
Oh,
Like two of
that's really cool.
I think one of them actually only does it because Simplicissimus is two people. And I think someone from the English side of YouTube, I think Hugh, the channel Hugh also does it. Spelled H-U-H, not H, H-U-G-H. They also work on Fern. And I think they're a really cool channel. Definitely give Fern a watch. Now, for what I do with voice acting, I mean, I haven't really been on many projects yet. I mean, I have made my own little audiobooks from the small little shit books that I wrote and write. And I've been hired actually by my artist, DJ Fogg, for a series that he's making that just recently started production. And he's just waiting to upgrade his setup to really get going on it. And I can't really say when it's going to come out. We shorten it to OT, which stands for Online Together. And I think it's really fun. And
Ooh.
another thing with this whole voice acting project things that I want to mention real quick is that oftentimes voice actors have a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, that they cannot talk about the show they work on until it's revealed that they work on the show or until the show is out. Because
Mm-mm.
especially for big productions, it increases the hype around it all. For example, a very good example for that, in my opinion, is with the German voice actor Marius Gavrilis, which you actually may already know from the new Indiana Jones game, because he voices the main villain in that game, Voss. And
Oh.
the way I found out about this game actually was through Marius Gavrilis' YouTube shorts and TikToks, where he showed him in the booth acting for this character, and he also voiced the villain in English, and he voices him in English and German, which is amazing.
It's kind of makes me think of like
And
thing.
I think he also motion captured that villain,
That's really
Really?
if
cool.
I'm not
You
fully
know,
wrong, which is really.
I feel
really
like
cool.
motion capture just isn't used as much as it should be anymore. I kind of
Definitely.
miss it.
The problem
miss
with
it.
motion capture too, it can either look really good or downright horrifying if you don't put the right
Ooh.
money and like tools towards
See,
it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
for
true that.
example, even though the animation's like outdated, like the quality of it, look at the Polar Express, right? Because that uses motion
I was
capture,
just
but
thinking Polar Express. Yeah.
but to this day, the motion capture still looks really, really good, right? Like
honestly,
Yeah.
even
Because
though
it's
like
really impressive.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
have these organic movements from actual humans, acting humans, so to say, right? So it feels a bit more
Yeah,
natural
and then
in the
they
way they move.
and then
So
they
there's a lot
add
of
like
soul behind
some
it.
traditional animation techniques to kind of try to steer it out of the uncanny valley, and
Yeah,
it's just neat. It's neat. One
yeah,
thing I really
definitely.
miss is when like old Sonic games used to use motion capture. Like you go to like
Oh,
the
that's amazing.
Sonic
That's
Adventure 2,
Okay.
and it just looks like a bunch of people in mascot suits walking around,
Oh,
and it's just
I always, gosh, when it comes to Sonic 06, you watch the cutscenes of that game, and it really does.
here
just
we
feel like a
go,
bunch of people in
Sonic
Sonic costumes.
Hour. We
I'm
can't
so
have
sorry.
an
I
episode
didn't do
of
this.
YTFA
I didn't do
without
this.
Jack or James mentioning Sonic. Somebody
this was going to,
slap a picture of Sonic over my
this
face.
would actually make
Oh,
sense.
this is actually relevant.
I
No,
know,
this is relevant.
I know, but that's what makes it funny.
yes.
I can't.
I will interrupt here. I will actually interrupt here, so we actually can get us back to the whole
Yes.
thing. So
Sonic.
before I started to talk about NDAs and we devolved into animation, I can actually talk about OT because Mardus gave me the okay. And I even asked him before we started recording this podcast again for if I am allowed to talk about it here. And he said, yes, definitely. So yeah, I voice one of the parental figures of one of the main characters, which will be fun because I will have to talk in a language that I do not speak, which will be fun.
Oh,
But I have the absolute luxury of having another voice actor from the project that actually has it as their native language, so their mother tongue.
Really?
Yes, and it's really, really cool because now I can just sit down in a call with them and they tell me how I pronounce things and then can record it in
that must be a
this
really cool
language.
experience. Like,
It is amazing. I'm so excited for when I can actually start voice acting for it. I mean, of course, first of all, he needs to do a rough draft, do the storyboarding, etc. But I am really, really hyped about this project. As I said,
so he's
OT.
he's a little more
Sorry.
professional than me with this then, because I always storyboard after voice acting and I shape the expressions around
I mean,
the voice
that
actors
is also a
delivering
smart way to
myself.
do. That is a really smart
That's how
way
I
to
do
do. Shows like South Park or I think The Simpsons and Family Guy actually did that in the first couple of seasons, which is why they worked so well there because you had voice actors basically already having recorded themselves and you had the recordings of them and the acting and you could all animate after that, which is really, really cool. Which is
It's
actually
basically
why
what
I am not a fan of the German translations for that series because because in the original in OV it sounds a bit more better. It has a lot more flow, while in the translated or well German version at least it feels a bit forced. Obviously, because it's just translated.
I think it's a similar problem that people have with like anime dubs versus subs, where there's always going to be that natural
Yeah, I get that.
where there's
I
often
get
a
that.
natural flow to the original cast that
Yeah.
sometimes is hard to capture by anyone dubbing it over, no matter what the language or cultural
So I
background
definitely
is.
have to say that again. I'm bringing Marius Gavrilis up again because he is great. Seriously, if you watch some of his TikToks, you see how he voiced certain characters. For example, he was Dio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and he went all out, literally ripping his shirt while in the recording booth, just so he could get the anger. Yeah, just so he could get the anger of the character.
Bro was hulking out.
You got to be that extra when you're playing
Oh,
Dio. Like that's
Like, to be fair,
Definitely.
some of the stuff I've seen voice actors do in the booth makes you go, "Wait, what?" Like, I don't.
Also,
I was
there's
working on
one
that Sonic
TikTok
fan
where
film I made years ago.
after that scene, he's just sitting in the corner of his booth, just leaned against the wall, like foaming at the mouth, like which is such a good end for a short or TikTok, and it's hilarious.
Oh my
Seriously, check his
gosh.
stuff out. Yes, he's a German voice actor, but in my opinion, it kind of transcends language.
I know when I filmed the Sonic fan film or made that one I made back in 2020, Sonic Ultra Adventure. When I had Gina in the booth recording her lines for Tails, it was so funny. She was struggling with some of the Tails line with Tails getting hit specifically and making that
Those
like
are always
that
hard.
ah. So what she did was she straight up grabbed a Tails plushie and just started whipping it at the wall while doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's how
fine.
she got it out.
I mean, I would have gone more for the self-mutilation route, like actually hitting myself, but
But
that's definitely way harder.
apparently watching a plushie of the character you're playing go through it is enough.
That's perfectly acceptable. And again, about OT, right? Just to get a short synopsis, because obviously I'm going to do a bit of advertising for the show, even if I can't say release
As
date
you
yet
should.
because we don't have one. Sorry,
I was just gonna say we support our indies here. We love them.
definitely
Oh yeah.
support your indies. Seriously, support them. I don't do it enough myself. Do as I say,
Support
and
them
not as
or
I do.
die. Dun-dun-dun. Sorry.
Ah! No.
Support the indie arts or die. Fuck your mother.
Yes.
Support the indie. It's gonna be like an early
Do it,
2000s.
or I personally will eat your lunch. Understood?
There you go. It's like
Okay.
those like ads, like those early Nintendo ads from the early 2000s. You know, like
Oh God.
Oh, like the was it last episode or the episode before where I showed
It
the
was
Donkey
the
Kong
episode
ad?
before the
I'm not
Donkey
sure.
Kong ad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The
The-
Rayman
about
pissing ad.
And about OT again, right? It's basically
Yes.
it's about these four friends that meet up occasionally and talk, try to help each other with their issues, and you follow them through their lives. And I think it's really cool. I mean, I can't talk about everything because spoilers, but
Mhm.
it's really, really cool because I write as a hobby, as I said before, and me and Jay, the creator, sat down in a voice call and showed me some of the rough storyboarding for the script and the cliff notes. And it is great. I mean, I can't talk about it, especially not the big reveal at the end of season 1, though I don't know what will change because he's rewriting it a bit, so it is a bit better paced and so on. But I think it'll be great.
That sounds like
Seriously.
an awesome series. Like I like
sounds
anything that
awesome,
just
yeah.
follows a group of friends. Like you could go so many directions with just that
Definitely.
alone.
Yes,
I
definitely.
think it's something. Yeah, so I'm gonna be watching when it comes out. I will 100% be
I
watching.
will if he does not post it in the self promotion chats, especially in the self promotion chat on YTFA, I will post it there when the first episode
Good.
is out. Or the
And I
pilot.
will be there to
The thing is,
react
I am
with
not
at
in
least above
one of.
Barney.
I think I'm not in the first or episode of the pilot. I think my character appears for the first time in episode 2, at least according to the first script he has. But then again, I think it will already speak for itself, and it's really, really cool. It's great. We have great artists for the animation that work on it. We have absolutely amazing and great people as voice actors, and seriously, it's such a great group. I really, really hope that my voice acting curse, as I call it, doesn't follow me here. Because I've tried to get into a few productions before this, but all of them failed due to budgeting. But I think I think he also has a either Ko-fi or GoFundMe or something where you can donate to the show, so he has funding to actually do it all. And just so where all of the people that work on it, including me, went on expecting that we're not gonna get a lot of payment for it, if any at all, which is a-okay with us. We were hired under that premise, we will work under that premise, and we will do the best work we can under that premise. Why? Because, of course, support your indies. And I already have donated, I think, 50 euros, so 50 Great British pounds in the currency of Che, which I think at the time, obviously, sadly, it went down a bit by now, for the show myself, because it's a great show and I wanted to have the funding that it needs so it can really get going. But it's going to
Yeah.
be free to watch on YouTube. So yeah.
Make sure he sends that Ko-Fi or GoFundMe into the promotion chat because
Did you
I'm
just say
sure there's lots of
Ko-Fi?
viewers who
I thought it was
yeah
I,
Ko-Fi
I thought it was coffee.
or is it
Everything-
coffee?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
think it's
Ko-Fi or coffee?
Ko-fi.
Because I just got one.
I think
I've
it's
heard
Ko-fi.
both.
I
I've
think
heard
it's
both.
Ko-fi. I think it's Ko-fi because
It's Ko-fi.
Sophie,
It's
I
it.
think
I
it's
thought it was.
coffee.
I thought it was pronounced coffee because the whole point is that you can tip the creator. It's like a coffee shop that you don't need to like do
Yeah,
monthly
but I
like
think it's-
Patreon.
yeah, it's weird.
Which is what I love
I-
about it, honestly, actually, because
yeah, definitely.
I don't know, like that's why I went with it over Patreon, just because I think I don't like paying monthly subscriptions myself, so I would
Same.
feel weird asking my audience for one. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
yeah, if you want a tip,
I get
go
that.
ahead.
I get that.
I have a Patreon, but I never promote it. I might just start a Ko-Fi instead.
I've been thinking
I
about
have a
starting
Patreon. I
something
never
like
use
that.
it. Maybe I'll do that.
I started the Ko-Fi a week or two ago, mentioned it once and haven't mentioned it since. I don't know. It's there. It exists. That's my attitude towards it. So let's get back to voice acting talk
Yeah.
here.
And now I can
'Cause-
actually really
Yes.
start talking about it all, right?
Yes.
Because one of the first things that you really told, because the first ever lesson that I really had in these classes wasn't about voice acting or talking in general, but more about actually audio editing, because it's also a huge part of voice acting. Because if the sound technician fucks it up, no amount of amazing voice acting can pull it back.
Very true.
So that's also
Oh, yeah.
something you will have to keep in mind, especially when you're editing audio.
Don't
Which
have
I
a
try to-
shitty microphone. There's no.
Get that too.
Here's the thing. There's no
too.
excuse at this point too, because there's like pretty cheap
Yes, there is.
microphones.
Yeah, I mean, my setup, right, that I have with a microphone, which is like I would go over everything that flows into my recording setup, right, excluding like game recording stuff and so on, right? But just for voice acting and voice over, I have a standard microphone stand. It was like 50 euros. I have a Behringer Euphoria UM2 interface, which is enough for me. And
Mhm.
I have a T-Bone SC400 microphone, which is also used in professional studios. The interface was like 25 euros. The microphone was like, I think, 100. And what I also have attached to the microphone stand is a mic screen.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
like a
a
kind of like a
small-
pop filter.
I also have a pop filter. It came with a microphone. But it's like, you know how some YouTubers start recording in like the closet because there's less echo? That's what a
Yes.
mic screen does. If you buy a very, very expensive one, you get a box where you put your head into so you can record. But I didn't get the very, very expensive one. I got one for like 100 euros, which is like a curve that just goes around the back of a microphone and dampens the sound a bit.
I didn't know that's what that was called.
It's
My
a mic
sister has
screen.
one of those.
I think they're really great.
I have a
especially if
really
you listen to that
cheap.
stuff.
I have a really cheap box one. I got it for like $15 at a sale once. I should use it more. I just don't have
Definitely.
space to put it down usually because it's
Definitely.
so
I
big.
have mine constantly fixed to my microphone stand actually, because I mean it makes it very heavy on the back, but it's still very, very useful. And I would recommend that you have one, but if it's not really in your budget, that's fine. Because most of the time when I'm recording, anyhow, I also open the like the one wall of my room is basically just one giant closet. Because like I still live with my family, and there's like this big closet on one wall, and I just open it when I'm recording to reduce the echo a bit further, which
Mhm.
is also a great way. I've also heard of people covering the walls with like blankets, which can also help. So I definitely recommend a mic screen because it's the most effective.
There's also the classic strategy of put your mic on put down your mic and then surround it with like pillows from your bedroom. That's also
Yeah, but if you
one
do
I've
it
seen a couple times.
incorrectly, yeah, and that's not too bad of an idea. But the
Yeah,
thing
but
is
it's not
this,
as good
if
as
you
just
put-
getting a mic screen.
Definitely, that too. But the main issue I really see with it is if you accidentally put a pillow over your mic, which could happen. A pillow could theoretically fall over your mic where it records,
Mm-hmm.
where the diaphragm is. Yes, microphones have diaphragms, and then it's then the audio is also rather muffled.
Yeah, it ends up like a kind of like you also get that little
Yeah,
rubbing
which
a
is
pillow on
not
my mic
what
right
you
now.
Yeah.
want. Which is not what you want.
My
Stop it.
problem that I
Irritating my
need,
ears.
the problem that I have is that I need a pop filter because I have
Yeah, check
if
this
I
out.
if I remember the name correctly, I'm using a Shure MV7 Plus. And I really like it,
Now cheap.
but
The pop filter I have was like 10 euros extra. Which
yeah,
Yeah,
no, like the
as I said,
micro.
That's usually all they
mic,
cost.
Yeah, no, the microphone itself is good. Just like, and this is just for most microphones anyway. You want a pop filter for at least voice
Definitely.
acting because like you get the
Oh
that
yeah.
Overall, you want one. Overall, you want one, I would say.
Yeah.
pop
And
goes always.
and another thing, right, which a lot of people don't actually know, is export your audio files correctly. Don't use MP4s. Do not use MP4 files
Yes.
for your voiceover. Use WAV files or WAV files or whatever they're
Preach!
called.
If you don't use a WAV file, Carol will come to your house and behead you. So use WAV. Ignore me.
I have
I'm still new to voice acting. But
He has portals.
like all I'm
Yeah.
saying is like for me, I've auditioned a few times, sending waves, and then they were just like, "Oh, well, the wave files aren't really working. Can you send them as MP3s?" And then I did that.
But then they will specifically request so. But if you
Like-
want to be professional, send WAV files. I too, back when I didn't
Yeah.
pay for Filmora yet, I also asked the voice actors that I hired for my audiobooks to please send me MP4s. Or, well, MP3s. I'm a fucking idiot. MP3s.
Don't send MP4s, my God, please. You'll be
Yeah,
better
please
off.
don't
Like,
send
listen,
MP4s.
if you send,
Do not send MP4s.
if you at least send an MP3 file, they'll be like, okay, at
Yes.
least they know what an audio file versus a video file is. Just don't send
Yes.
MP4s. Send
No, you got
send
to
waves
send a
if you can't get.
file.
Try to send waves if you
Oh,
can't get the
God.
waves to work. At least send an MP3. At the very least, but try to send waves before anything else. There you go. That's it. I just want to make that point because I understand
Yes.
that there's a lot of new
Yes.
people that might
Yes.
not get a wave
Yes.
to work.
Yes. Yes.
Here's the thing: wave files are better
Yes.
audio.
No, you gotta
are better
send-
audio
you gotta
quality.
Say that to the person that's hiring you. Look,
.mov, okay?
look.
Send it as a .mov.
Get out! Get out!
I will
get out.
fucking kill you. I will buy a revolver
Okay,
and kill you.
if you
If
audition,
you send MOV, I will cut you like a fish. Do not do that.
okay, hold on. If I was holding auditions and I got sent an MOV file, I'm not only not picking you for the role, but I'll be airstriking your house that day, same day.
Yes, yes.
MOV.
See, I would just jokingly send a middle finger emoji back.
Yes.
That's what I'd do.
No, I would do it unironically. I do it unironically. I would do it unironically.
Or I'd send the not hee hee cat.
Okay, what would you
Oh,
rather?
that's so much worse.
Okay, wait. I got a better idea. What if they sent their audio, but like as a GIF file by accident? So it's just nothing.
Oh, good
How
God.
would you even do that? I don't even know how to make a video into a GIF.
What you have to do is you have to somehow find a way to convert your file into a MIDI track and send that.
What if I rip my wave file onto like a little cassette and just mail it to you? Would that be
That would be
Honestly,
hilarious.
at that point, I just respect the hustle.
At
That
point, I
takes
would
so much
respect
effort.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
You have to
I
press it onto
respect the hustle.
vinyl.
Yeah,
You have to press it onto
Yeah.
vinyl and send the record.
Just as much respect,
Fucking
honestly.
dime.
I got a record player. I'll listen to it. Yeah, I
I
respect
don't
that
have a
hustle,
record
man.
player, but I put it on my wall out of respect.
No, here's
No.
here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna compress it to an MP3 file. After doing that, I'm gonna then put it on a 8-track, and then I'm gonna. That's gonna sound like ass.
Oh, God. I'm sweating from how much I'm laughing. Jesus. Now, but in all seriousness, send WAV files. Now,
Yeah,
the
actually.
Yeah, send
next
wave.
thing
send
is,
wave.
the next thing is, and we're getting into my first vocal exercise here. The
Oh.
plan is fully relax your vocal cords,
Banana.
which is something I've not done for done for this podcast right now, and you may be able to tell that from my voice alone. So
to
I
be
want
fair,
all
we
of
did work you up with the MP3s and the MOVs and the 8
But that
tracks.
no. The thing is, that is a very conscious effort on my part for me to do that because subconsciously I go to my to the voice where my vocal cords are fully relaxed because I've trained it so much that it's just natural to me. So this voice that I'm talking in right now is what I sound like when my vocal cords are not relaxed. And
Oh.
yeah,
I see.
and it's almost, for me, it's rather crazy how much of a difference it makes. Like, I'll do the example right now, right? It basically works in the way you put your hand, right, onto your chest, and then you start humming. You go up and you go down. And once you feel the vibration in your chest, that's the part when your vocal cords are relaxed. And now I'm talking in the voice where my vocal cords are actually relaxed, which is a bit deeper for me. I think, if I remember right, for females it's a bit higher, and for males it's a bit lower, but don't fully trust me on that. That's dangerous half knowledge. And I would like all of you three to do that now.
All right, let's try this.
So,
Okay.
as I said, hand onto your chest, then you hum upwards and then downwards. And
Okay.
you and hum a bit longer at the frequency where you feel the vibration at your chest to get a feel for the tone. And then try talking in it.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Whoa.
I feel the vibration like around up here actually.
It's like that was weird.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
different
interesting.
for everyone. It's different for everyone.
My lips feel
Yeah, that's
tingly now.
interesting.
My lips feel like
Yeah.
a little tingly.
That's
Yeah.
a fun exercise.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like
and
I'm
it's
currently
definitely
this is me talking
nice.
with a relaxed tone, and I sound like
I
adult Morty from Rick and
And
Morty, as everyone always
maybe-
points
I
out.
don't. Do
I
I
don't
sound
think
any
you have to-
different? I don't know if I sound.
You do
any
sound a
different.
bit deeper.
Do
You
I?
sound slightly
You
deeper.
do.
sound slightly
You
deeper.
do.
Oh, I'm a little deeper. I wish I was a baller. I wish I was a little bit taller. Okay.
Da-da-da-da. Oh,
Did
She
you just snort?
shows.
Oh, good God.
She shows by the seashore, where Pyro wildles and walks and
Let's
trots.
hear Pyro.
And-
Pyro, what's your
Yeah.
relaxed voice? I want to hear.
I had this gag plan where I was gonna try. I wish I had one of those voice changer things.
Oh, that
So
was
I was
hilarious.
planning on
Oh,
finding like a super deep voice.
you want to use
That
voice
That would've
mod like
been
I did on the
hilarious.
first
That
episode
would've
when we
been
came back?
hilarious. Now, this voice, right, is what you should record in because it is the most natural to you. Which sounds weird when I say it like this because, well, you talked in a different voice basically your entire life. The thing is, how I trained it to be
Huh.
natural for me was I used it basically 24/7 and made a conscious effort to use it 24/7.
Oh.
And it's also a way where your voice doesn't get this quote unquote dry feeling, so your throat doesn't dry up as fast, which is also very good for voice acting, especially because if you travel to the recording studios, oftentimes in between takes you don't have a chance to drink anything, so you drink a lot of preferably water or tea with honey if you want to do your voice a actual real favor, and drink a lot of that before you record, then go into the vocal booth and start recording.
And don't drink milk before recording.
Yes.
It fucks with your voice.
Yes. I mean, I already can't do that because if I drink enough milk, I will cough.
You
some
know,
reason.
that does happen to a lot of people, actually. I know some people who that happens
I've
to.
never met anyone that had that problem.
I know a
Oh, I
couple
s- I
guys who I
definitely
hang
have
out with
that
at a
issue.
cafe who do that. They put milk in their coffee and they just start hacking away.
It happens to me
I-
when I eat a lot of
It ha-
milk-based ice cream, actually. Like the most there. Maybe it just
I-
to do
I
something with
usually,
the
like-
coldness and the milk.
Yeah, like I can't eat before recording. Like if you've noticed that I've been like coughing every now and then, that's because I just
Yeah,
ate
I mean,
like right before, so I
it's
just had like
also
all
the
this
reason
gunk in
why
my
I
throat.
don't- Yeah, yeah, and it's also part that part of that is also the reason why I don't drink while I actually record, because I tend to burp quite a bit when I drink a lot while I'm talking.
My recording sessions for myself are usually so short. I guess I never think that much about it because, like, my lines in the videos, usually my recording session is like 20-30 minutes max
God,
for when I have to record my
that
voice.
is actually really, really fast and really, really
Well,
short.
it's because like
sometimes I record
I
for,
know
like,
how
my
I
videos
want to deliver
for like
my stuff, right?
4 to 8 hours.
Like, to be fair, I rehearse my lines, like what I'm gonna
Same.
say, and
I
I'll
do
be
too.
like, but because I'm barely in my own videos, like, since all my stuff has so many
Let's grab something.
characters, like, I would debate that Christine is in my videos more than I am. And like, when I'm directing voice actors, usually we take so long because they'll be recording the whole season, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll just record my episode right before. My lines right
Yeah.
before. And
I mean,
then,
another thing,
yeah.
right? That's pretty much just what you have to do for voice for recording, right? Another
Yeah.
thing is that, which I actually went full in, actually, even though I probably won't voice a lot of German characters, is I got a pronunciation dictionary. I just went to grab it from a bookshelf, and it's big. And if you admit, it's literally just the words and the phonetic letters next to them. I mean, obviously, I've not opened it or used it in ages because it's a German pronunciation dictionary. In German, we would literally call it a Aussprache-Duden. Duden being
Like, that is-
Duden is basically just a brand that makes a lot of dictionaries. So every dictionary in German just became a Duden. Like, Lego is the term for basically all those pieces that are like Lego but not Lego, like blue bricks, etc. Right?
Oh yeah, all those kind of like, what do you
Legos.
call them? Construction toys? Yeah, like
Yeah,
all
I mean,
the Legos.
yeah,
Let's face it, it's like
I know it. Wait,
it's
I
like
need
how
to
we never say
let me-
tissue, we say Kleenex.
Or in German, it's Tempo. the word for tissue, because everyone knows that if you ask for a Tempo, you want a tissue, even if it's not from the brand Tempo.
Yeah, like
Let me
over
quickly-
here in
Also, in
Canada, we never
German,
say
the-
corn dog. We say Pogo, which is a brand, not the
Also,
actual name of the
Lego
food.
pieces. Lego pieces are called terminal blocks. I just googled. In German, they're called Klemmbausteine.
Limbo-Steine. Okay.
Why is your German so good? That
Oh, I-
genuinely jump scared me for a second.
I studied German for a year, so.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like tempted to repeat it back, and I'm like, I'm gonna butcher this. And then Pyro did it, and I went,
Pyro just
holy
pulls
shit.
it off perfectly. Also,
Bro's a natural.
also, Pyro, you've just opened the veil of me. I will ask you to say a dialect word. I do not expect you to get it right, but it's a joke here in Austria and Tyrol, where I'm from, to have foreigners say Ohrkatzelschworf, because it's hard to say. So please, say Ohrkatzelschworf for me.
Repeat it again.
Ohrkatzelschworf.
Oh, Katzelschworf.
Ohrkatzelschworf.
Oh, Katzelschworf. Yeah, I can't
No,
do that one.
Oh my
What does that
god.
one mean?
It means the tail of a squirrel.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yes, Ohrkatzelschworf
Wow.
is a squirrel's tail.
Or catch a smorf. No, that's terrible. Wow.
I mean, no one is expecting you to do it perfectly.
I know. I just wanted to attempt.
That's fine.
It was like, that sounds like fun. Let's try
Yeah,
this.
but the reason why I brought up the pronunciation dictionary is because it's important to know how to pronounce things. With one thing that just broke my brain is that it's the ich or ich thing in German. For example, the German word for king is König, and that's how I've always been saying it. I've always said König, which is wrong. It's spelled König, pretty much how you pronounce it. But the correct way to pronounce it is König, with an ich at the end. And the same is with Honig, honey. But if you say königlich, which is royal, you don't say königlich, you say königlich. You do not pronounce the ig in the middle of a word as ich, just at the end. Which really threw me for a loop, because that was something to get used to.
It's it's interesting to think of because I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't think about is getting a pronunciation dictionary because I'm sure there's
Yeah.
lots of words that we
Definitely.
pronounce incorrectly every day in our own languages.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Which is
So
why
true.
I
Like,
bought one for German, and yes, I would have to look into the phonetic alphabet again if I wanted to use it, but it's easy because literally if I open it, the first page is literally a page explaining how you read the phonetic alphabet. I mean, it takes some getting used to, but it's really nice to have. There are also websites
Honestly,
for it that will read it
might need
out
to go
for
get
you
one.
in the correct pronunciation.
So should I
that's
just
also
like buy
what-
one for everyone I know who says Tuesday instead of Tuesday or
Hi, yes.
schedule instead of
Yes.
schedule?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, I'm gonna end up over analyzing everything I say now, and I'm just gonna not be
yeah,
able to speak anymore. It's
yeah.
fine.
Which
Oh,
is
I
why
already
I
Don't
do
worry.
really
that.
stopped doing that for my videos. Really, which
I
is why I
will.
just said, okay, F it. If I manage to do it right, that's really good. But if I don't, that's also fine. It's just how I talk. But the best example is das and das in German. Das basically meaning the, and das, I don't know how you would translate that actually, because it's sort of like a filler word saying that something is the case, more kind of like if, but not really.
Huh.
Because with das, the second one that I just explained, it is sharply spoken because there's two S's right back to back. So like D-A-S-S, das. And it's pronounced das. But das, D-A-S, is pronounced softly, so das. Which is also something that is... I struggle with
I-
it a lot.
I think the only other filler word that I'm personally aware of. So, for any new viewers, I'm in Canada, and we all have to learn Canadian French for like several
God.
years of our school life, right? It's not real French, it's Canadian French, which don't tell anyone from Quebec that, or they will hurt you. Because they will claim that their French is the original and real French, but they're lying. Anyways, so when you go into like Quebecois French, just adding ah into things, like adding it
Yeah.
before adding it before la or le or les, it's like it's just such a common thing, like a la, a les, a le. It's and
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything. It's
Alles
just
sounds like
a random A
alles.
with an accent aigu.
Yeah. Also, alles sounds like a German word, by the way, because we have alles, which means everything.
Also, Reed, feel free to correct me in the comments. I know you listen to the show, and unlike me, who stopped taking French when I was 14, you are fluent. So
Oh, that's cool.
feel free to
That's
correct
so
me.
cool. Learning new languages is so cool and fun. I enjoy it a lot.
I struggle a lot with it. Like, I've tried to learn proper Italian because, like, growing up, I grew up with a Calabrese dialect, which is for any Italian history nerds knows. Like, the Italian government started trying around the late 60s, early 70s to just get rid of all dialects and unify
Oh god.
Italian into one language.
That's
So
never
Calabrese,
smart. That's not work. That will never work. Just based
it
off of
did
how
though.
language work. What?
Like it kind of did. It's weird because so Calabrese dialect, which is what my family knows, when we talk to our family members in Italy, they don't know what we're saying because
Oh,
they
God.
look at us and go, "No one under 80 speaks like that. What are you saying?" So
That's
it's just
basic.
like, yeah, no, I wouldn't say I win
Why not?
because I spent my entire childhood trying to learn Italian for my family. Instead, I learned a dead language, and then when I tried to learn proper Italian, I just couldn't.
Thing with proper language also is that it's kind of been set in stone for like hundreds, if not thousands of years. Because
Oh yeah.
depending on where you are, obviously, by just basically one guy that wrote it all down with how they pronounce it, and it just became the official version, which is look, it's stupid. And the thing is, right, because I'm from Austria, our language is also German, like Germany, but we speak a different official German than in Germany. So our official German, going back to the König example, is that we say König and not König in our official pronunciation, which is so weird, right? Like if I started to speak for a news show on TV, which I could do with the qualifications that I had or with the degree I would have gotten, it ended before the exams. The uni went bankrupt before the exams. I would have could have gone to a TV studio, showed them, hey, I studied it, give me a role for a TV announcer. And if I did that in Germany, I would have to say König. But if I did it in Austria, I would have to say König, which is really, really dumb because it's the same fucking language.
Well, it's the same thing with English, right? Except there are smaller differences.
The
like
most jarring example for that in German is actually the country of China, because here it's pronounced China and in German it's pronounced China, which sounds like two completely different words, but both mean China.
I don't know why the pronunciation difference just reminds me of in Harry Potter when Hermione's correcting Leviosa.
Oh god, yeah.
Leviosa.
That's something I
Not
wanted to actually.
Leviosa.
That's also something that I actually wanted to say later in the episode, but I can talk about it now. Know how to
Yeah.
pronounce fictional words, because even if like Leviosa is a fiction, it's Latin, but let's say it's a fictional word, right? You would have to know how to pronounce it. So if you
Yes.
do an audiobook and you do not know how it's pronounced, at least sound like you know how to pronounce it, because it may very well just become the official way to say it, and it makes it sound more professional, which is actually something I could say right now, because from the same upcoming video of where I used the DSA, it's out in April, but I don't mind talking about that, because in that video I actually looked into Genshin Impact actually and saw if it actually is a game I would enjoy, because it was being sponsored heavily, and I kind of want to do a small little video series about games that are heavily promoted and sponsored and sponsor a lot of YouTubers. But I want to see if
That's a
these
neat
games
idea.
are actually fun without spending any money, because a lot of them are these gacha type games. Which I
So
think
you're gonna
is
do like
really
Raid Shadow Legends and stuff like that.
yeah, and it also basically means I never run out of video topics, right?
No, you
Right.
can always like do more, and it's also very searchable in the algorithm.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Genshin
And
videos do well.
yeah, and
I know
I've
my
lost
sister
some
got
time and
me into
lost into it.
Genshin forever ago while you search for the script. She got me into it, and I never paid a cent on it, but
I
usually
found it.
when I played it, it was just to mess around with my buddies. And it's very
I
fun for
think
that.
I think the game is especially fun for that. But I played it on my own because I was like, yeah, I want to do a solo player perspective on it, right? Because I think that's how quite a few people would start out playing Genshin.
Oh yeah, because
And
it
it's the
won't
first,
let you do
yeah.
co-op until like level 25, right?
No, I don't know actually.
Or did
Genuinely
they
didn't
change
like.
that?
I didn't make it that far. Um, and I wanted to do it from that perspective because like the first few things you do in Genshin are solo play, and I think quite a few players would actually just keep doing solo play. It's a better way to review it and a better way to really talk about it. Like say, hey, as a solo player, it's fun or it's not fun, right? Watch the
Yeah.
video if you want to watch the goddamn video when it comes out if you want to see if I enjoyed it or not. Because
Watch it.
again, my voice sounds a bit different because I used the DSR, and I didn't like it with the DSR, but I kept it in because I wanted to try it out for a video. But like, for example, the world that you're in Genshin, right? It's Teyvat or Teyvat, right? I don't know how it's pronounced. And honestly, I recorded that a few months ago already because God, there was just a time when I was so focused in on videos. So I just made like 3 to 4 videos in 1 month. The next month I made another and just kept going, and I eventually just had enough videos for like 1 year already.
Which,
And I'm still in
which
this
is
time
super
period.
cool.
Yeah, but
It's so
also
cool though that you could say that you were able to do that. Like you can get locked in like that again.
yeah, I really hope so. I really hope that I can be locked in like that again soon, because like the thing is, while it was really fun to work on videos back to back to back to back, it did burn me out quite a bit. I wouldn't recommend people doing that.
That's fair.
Because like right now, yes, I've recently made a video for I think May, which is also in a game that was sponsored quite a bit or was really in hype around the time when it was released for early access. But now it's like fully out, it's V Rising, and I really enjoy it. And I was like, yeah, I'll make a love letter of a video for the game because of how much I enjoy it. Kind of what I did with Neon White. And it was really fun to do. But right now I'm working on another video. I'm waiting for my artist to finish an animation for a joke for the video. Yes, he will be paid for it because good work gets paid well, and that's how I pay him.
I think I
Because
know
obviously-
exactly what work in progress animation you're talking about, and it's really good.
Yeah, I showed it. It's really good. And I actually sat down in a video call before this podcast to talk about this animation and a few more ideas. And I think it'll turn out really fun, especially because for that video, I also will have my stills altered throughout the video for the joke.
I'm
So
ready. I'm
basically-
ready for that.
And it's gonna be so expensive for me because I pay him right now. I really wish I could pay him a bit more, especially for thumbnails and so on. But I just don't have the type of budget right now. I know, Jay, you're hearing this. We talked about how much I have. I want I want some money for myself. I'm a very impulsive buyer sometimes. But he's okay with what I pay him. I'm okay with it. Everyone's happy. And
Well, that's good.
we recently even increased how much I pay him because the currency that he's using, Great British Pound, actually lost value recently, and by quite a bit.
Oh,
So I'm like, hey, I will pay you a bit more. That's fine by me. So he basically then has the same amount of money, basically, so you can buy the same amount of stuff from it, right?
which is definitely a good thing to do. It's
Definitely.
basically you basically gave him what we call a COLA clause, which is a cost of living. Can't remember
Yeah.
what the A stands for.
Yeah, I think that's a really good thing to do.
Oh yeah, I'm all for them.
Yeah.
So let's get back on track with voice acting here, because I believe you still had some fundamentals you were gonna show us, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm doing something right now that I don't normally do, and it's drinking while I'm technically recording because I want to keep my voice fresh. And yes, I'm drinking out of the official Downcast Spark mug.
Oh,
I'm
no
actually
way!
Wait,
doing that.
really? Really?
Yes.
Can I
yes.
see? Can I see?
Oh,
Can I see?
nice.
I just realized
mention-
pyro merch would be so easy. One could just be a white mug with sunglasses on it.
Like
is literally my
literally
plan.
the
I will
easiest
buy it.
merch.
Like, yeah,
I would too.
I've sent
I have
it.
like prototypes and
Hey!
shit
Oh my
already.
gosh!
Like,
Hey,
oh,
That
there it
looks
is.
so nice. Oh my gosh. I've actually haven't
Don't
seen
mind-
her.
dude.
Wow,
Don't
that
mind the
looks
mess. I
good.
have not bothered to clean. I did not clean up my fucking desk.
Show it
Um,
off on stream, show it off on the episode everywhere. Yeah, just kidding.
And Spark, I actually currently in rotation. The Downcast Spark T-shirt is my pajama shirt
Yes.
because it's really
Yes.
soft.
Nice.
Dude, your T-shirts are so soft.
That makes me
Like they
very
are like the
happy.
perfect pajama shirt.
Also, for me, every type of tea that I drink from this mug just tastes better. So, I don't know what spell Spark casted on these mugs, but they make tea taste so much
I
better.
genuinely don't
And I
know
know
what
spells
Spark
are
did
kinda
with
like
his
my
merch, but
thing,
it's all
but-
like
Seriously.
it's all
It's great.
genuinely so high quality.
I
It
don't
amazes
I
me.
don't like
Seriously.
selling garbage. Go to Downcast Spark shop, get yourself
Yes.
something.
Yes.
I'm promoting my store on the podcast. Yeah.
It's okay. I
As you
promoted my
should.
Ko-Fi
As you
earlier.
As you
Yeah.
should. As you should.
I had a friend buy the
So
I even was
Well,
able to partner with Champion to do a Spark Champion hoodie. So
Also,
that's like
well-
on there as well.
to bring it back to voice acting again and onto the next thing, I think Parnell actually said it in one of the previous episodes, I think in season 2, about distance from the microphone.
oh
And-
yeah, that is so
yeah.
important.
It is. And I am very sorry, but again, do as I say and not as I do. I've slightly increased the volume on my interface so I can record a bit more comfortably. Because I like to move around when I'm recording. Even if I'm sitting in a chair right now, usually I am stood up.
Yeah,
But
like
because of that, I'm
I
a bit
get that.
further away from the microphone. And I'm a bit further away from the microphone right now than I would normally be. I think what Parnell said is make a fist, extend your pinky and your thumb, put it right at your mouth and microphone, and that's the ideal distance.
Yep,
to
that would
record.
be the perfect distance.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I do.
Yeah, and like literally
It's
exactly
touch
what
your
Pyro
mouth, and
does.
touch your mouth, touch your microphone, best distance,
That's exactly what Pyro
which is
does.
also
It's
something that
that's
yeah.
funny because I didn't even realize where I first heard that. I've just been doing that subconsciously for years and not even noticing.
Yeah, I'm
I
doing
learned it in
consciously now.
school, but it's definitely a do as I say, not as I do thing. Because sometimes, like, so
I got that
right
too.
now, the current way my condo's set up, it's really hard for me to do it properly. Like right now, my dad's visiting in my dad's in the condo right now, so I have to be like secluded in my room. So I actually have my mic on my nightstand, and I'm sitting on my bed this whole time. Like
Yeah,
I'm literally recording in bed right now because it's the only area of this condo where sound won't get in.
yeah.
But
That's
so right
also
now it's
that's
a do
also
as I say,
smart.
not as I do for today.
Yeah, for me
Yeah.
too. For me too. Sadly, but please do as I say, not as I do. I really am very religious about it when normally record, which
Jesus,
is
take
Yeah,
how
the
it should be.
Jesus, take the
like if
wheel.
I'm doing a cartoon, you do it, you know?
Yeah. Another thing, right, is to warm up your vocal cords before recording.
Yep.
So say a tongue twister or whatever really warms it up, just talk a bit, which sounds counterintuitive, but seriously, do it. It is the vocal cords are basically just any other muscle, like in your body. It's just another muscle in your body that just allows you to have this beautiful instrument that is your voice. And yes, I genuinely believe that the voice is the most beautiful instrument that is out there,
Yeah.
especially the human voice. Fuck AI, seriously. Fuck AI.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep.
100%.
And
Agreed.
I have a whole segment in my Genshin video where I just talk about hey, AI and things. This was something that Tencent, that this company is doing, that MiHoYo and HoYoverse is doing.
Are they doing something with AI?
Yeah, I think they're trying to replace the voice actors with AI. At
I
least
think I did
didn't
hear
find.
something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I
What?
did. Yeah, the thing is, I wanted to get proper sources for that part, similar to what I did in my video where I talked about Mr. Beast, with sources on
Mm-hmm.
screen and then in the description. The thing is, I didn't find anything solid on it, but it's definitely rumored because, and yeah, I talked to an actual Genshin player about it all before I started recording, and they also said, "Hey, this is apparently what they want to do," which is apparently seen through some hirings they did, like job listings, which is
Holy
fucking
shit.
awful. Which is so awful, and I have a whole segment with my opinion in my Genshin video for it. I don't want to get too much into it for this podcast
Yeah.
because I could go on hour-long tangents about it.
It's just
But
like
back to the
AI is
whole,
just inherently
yeah,
anti-worker is where
yeah,
I'll leave it at.
yeah, definitely. But now back to warming up your voice. What I usually do before I record, I say a tongue twister once or twice, and I do a small little vocal exercise as well. Like before I
Okay.
start recording, I usually sound like this. Sa se si so su sa se si so su sa se si so su
Oh, so like a tongue
sa se si
twister.
so su. It's not a tongue twister. It's more like saying sa se si so su, like S and a
Well,
consonant
I
after
wasn't
that.
saying it is a tongue twister. I said
Yeah,
it
but
does
it's
like the
like
same
one.
fundamentals of like a tongue twister,
Yeah,
where it
yeah,
warms up
definitely.
Sa se
your
si
tongue.
so zu.
Yeah,
Sa se
that's
si
what I
so
do
su.
before recording. I
Salsa, si
literally sound like
sasu,
this. I
su,
stand in front of a microphone and sound
seesaw.
like this. Sa se si so su, sa se si so su, sa se si so su. 10 这个进10 10这这个这么做10这个进10 10这个这么做 sa se si so su. Which
Sase, si, so, su.
sounds crazy because yes, I do a tongue twister, which is 10
Si,
这
si,
个
sa,
进
sa, sa,
10
se, sa,
10
so,
这
so,
个
su.
这么
It's
做, which is a German tongue twister.
it's not the weirdest vocal warm-up I have heard in my life.
True
One
that.
thing I've learned is there's so many different vocal warm-ups out
Yeah,
there.
definitely.
Like
Like, there's another one that we had. It's like "ftaf, taf, tief, tof, tu," which is like hilariously funny to me because
I
the "ft" sound, which is like not really in a lot of words
one
in that
thing that
way.
Tori and Amanda used to do before recording Awesome Man episodes their vocal warm up was the same. And what they would do is they would literally like hit their chest twice, like a pound, pound, and then go testosterone, 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 and they do it for like 20 minutes straight, and that would be their vocal warm up.
Yeah, I mean, whatever worked for you,
Yeah.
really.
Oh, it's just
But
hilarious to
favorite tongue
watch.
twister. Yeah, I get that. I mean, for what I do, right, and what I would recommend is that Sase Sisosu type thing, right, or Taf Tif Tif 2, right, one of those type of things, and a tongue twister in between, like what I just was doing.
Okay.
For me, it's
Like a
the easiest way to warm up my voice, really, which is also because sometimes I work behind the cash register where I work. Like, usually I'm in the department, stocking shelves, sorting things, helping customers. But sometimes I'm
Mhm.
behind the cash register, especially during breaks for the actual cashier. Sometimes I just am behind the register all day, and sometimes in between customer waves, I just do vocal exercises and vocal warm-ups so I don't lose my voice.
you know what? Fair though. Like
Which I think is also really smart to do for people that in professions that need to talk a lot, because that way you can do your job basically for longer than you could normally, right?
yeah.
Which is why I adapted all of these vocal exercises into my normal day work, so to say.
You know
Because
what? I
like
think it's
it
really
just
cool
makes
that you
sense.
were able to put that into your normal everyday
I mean,
life.
it
Because
was pretty simple because like sometimes there are downtimes where there aren't as many customers at the register, and it's like one at a time. And in between customers, you have like time to do like a short little vocal exercise, especially for recording, especially if you have a script, which is something that I actually picked up from a German YouTuber who said it in one of his, I think, reaction videos, funnily enough, is not read the script one for one. So like if we
yeah.
go, like, let's pick, because I have it right next to the voiceovers view actually, is to my Digimon Survive script, right? And if I just read the introduction, like the first sentence of it, which is a rather long sentence actually, and I don't usually write sentences this long. It's if I read it one for one from the script, my voice flow is like, in my ongoing quest of trying new franchises, I have set my eyes on what to the sides of me was just a copy of Pokemon, Digimon, which sounds like I'm reading from a script, right? But the whole
Mhm.
thing about YouTube or voice acting in general is that it's not supposed to sound like you're reading from a script, right?
Yeah,
Because
because if you
authenticity
sound
on
like you're
YouTube is
reading
the
from one,
key. Yeah, because on YouTube the
you
key is authenticity, which you can't have if you're just reading a script one for one, or with voice acting if you're just reading the sentence or the words your character is supposed to say.
yeah, like
So yeah,
it's
so
that's great advice. Like you should always
definitely.
feel out what the character would say if it's you're doing character work. Like sometimes the actor knows better than the writer.
Very true.
Sometimes, yes. But another thing I said to Jay, especially as if you're directing something, right, directing a project and have hired voice actors, is give them direction. Tell them how you want it to
Yes.
sound, first of all. Tell them how it's supposed to sound. And then, once you hear the lines, best case, you're sitting down in a voice call with them and talking to them while they record. And I know sometimes that's not doable. So, pretty much just uh, tell them afterwards, once you heard it, hey, I would maybe tone it down a bit or do a bit more, be a bit more intense, be a bit less intense, and so on, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes even say, put a bit more air into it, right? Like, put a bit more air into what you're saying, you know? Which, yes, takes away your ability to do very long sentences. As I was saying, don't read the script one for one and give your voice actors direction, which is something that I definitely have failed to do with my previous projects, but which is something that I'm definitely taking as advice for myself as well for when I do future projects and audiobooks. Because currently I'm writing another thing on the side, which I think is really fun. And I would hire voice actors for it, even if uh the first chapter isn't really hasn't doesn't have that many characters. I would still hire someone to do a few more one of the side characters, right? Because I think
Yeah, like
it's good to show indie voice actors and so on, right? So I have to look into a new way of hiring them because before I hired them over Amino, which was really
oh yeah,
great.
and Amino kind of
Yeah,
burnt to the ground.
yeah. I mean, and yeah, as I said, don't read the script for one. And also another thing, right? Which sounds weird at first, but kind of makes sense if you think about it a bit, is think at what points you will breathe.
Yeah,
Because
that's
because yeah, especially with the one sentence that I have here right now, because if I do like this in my ongoing quest of trying new franchises, I've set my eyes on what the sides of Child Me was just another copy of Pokemon. Digimon, right? It breaks the flow and just doesn't sound as good, especially because you have to edit out and cut out all the breaths, especially if they're not meant to be there.
well, like
So
if you, for
sorry?
say, are doing a more dramatic line read, sometimes it's
Yeah,
good to take that deep breath during it to
definitely.
get that pause.
Definitely.
Or if you're doing,
Yes,
and if you're reading something angrily, you better take a damn good breath before you record that angry line because
definitely.
you're about
Which
to
is
word vomit all over the place.
definitely, which is specifically why I say it, and especially full stops are a good indicator of when to breathe.
Mhm.
And especially at the end of sentences, you can take a short pause, take a deep breath in, and then say the next sentence. Because that way, the sound technician or you as a YouTuber, if you do it yourself, like I do, you have an easier time cutting that breath out. And
Yeah.
that just makes it just easier in the audio editing process and you get a better result. So how I would voice that sentence properly, right, is in my ongoing quest of trying to find new franchises, I've set my eyes on what to the sides of Child Me was just another copy of Pokemon, Digimon, right?
Yeah, that's
That
very
way it just,
intentional with the pausing.
yeah. And you can thus make it more dramatic or less dramatic as you see fit, which is really, really good. Which is also why I phrase it like think about when you breathe or and not don't breathe when you talk. Because the second statement is wrong, as Porno just said. And
Alrighty, so
this because this episode is long, I'm scrapping the acting exercise, even though it is fun, but it also ties a bit into the next point, and it is, well, just be careful with the thing we call Unterton in German, which is just basically your tone of voice. Because the sentence I have a gift for you can mean various different things if you pronounce it differently. Like, I have a gift for you sounds a bit more menacing and like I should be scared of what you're giving me, rather than if I say, I have a gift for you, which sounds more genuine and happy. Like, you should be excited of what I got you, right?
That's a good tip for
there are
like most
so
acting too,
yeah.
because as somebody
Yeah,
who's
definitely.
got into voice acting, started as a theater actor and acted on film, emotion carries throughout the way that you deliver lines. So
Yes.
whether you start as a voice actor or you're coming from voice acting something else or vice versa, yada yada,
Reach.
most of the
True.
rules of acting stay the same. Now, of course, things will
Yes.
change like slightly depending on the kind of acting that you're
Yeah,
pursuing, but
definitely.
and that's something I've learned too. But something I can tell you from doing all three now is that they usually follow the same rules. That the way that you express
Yes,
the
yes, yes, yes,
emotions and
yes.
deliver the lines are the same throughout. So if you want to be happy, you are a little bit more upbeat or like a little bit of a higher tone. If you're being sad or angry or upset, more in the lower
Exactly,
tones.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
So.
exactly. And this is also a big reason on why sometimes studios just hire popular actors or, well, good actors for voice acting roles because of exactly that. Because they already know the fundamentals and you know that they will do a good job. And
Yeah,
even
they're
if it's a
already
bit
experienced in it.
different, and Yeah, and even if you just need to slightly alter it, like be a bit more intense with how you say things.
Frieza, I have a gift for you! Gallic gun!
Jeez, that was loud. Ow.
That was so loud.
My
Oh
ears.
Perfect.
Ow.
Oh my god,
The jump scare.
Anyway.
The pyro jump scare.
Oh my
I-
god.
to be honest-
Oh.
to be honest, I expected it. And so, look, if
Anyway, I feel like we should probably
one
move
more thing,
on
one
to
more
another
thing, one more
segment.
short thing, one more short thing I want to
One
say.
more short thing? Okay.
Yeah, before we get into the fun segments, if you want to hire me as a voice actor, just shoot me a DM on Discord. I'm on the YTFA podcast frequently. DM me, tell me what you want. We'll discuss pricing, make it fair for you and for me.
So if you want to hire his services, you can reach out to him at Dowcast Spark with your information.
Spark.
You can also hire Spark if you want him to do something for you.
Hire them
And-
both. Just do it.
Yes.
Hire
Yes.
me, and I will also send you a video of me doing the flies. So anyway,
Yes.
curse me.
So
Curse-
I was gonna do
Yes.
Q&A segment, but we'll do memes first. Sure.
Yes, we'll do
All right.
these.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Since I'm free,
Oh.
I will go now with my first one. I think Parnell will either hate me for this or he will laugh. I've warned him. I've got a cursed Sonic thing, and
Oh no.
it is
Oh
hilarious.
no.
One of the memes, and I will announce it, is from a different Discord that I'm in called Fritz's Keller. There is a not safe for work shit shack Discord on it with a lot of cursed memes. A lot of them I cannot show because they're, as the name of this Discord chat says, not safe for work. But
Yeah, we
goddamn
don't
it,
want to get
some
in
of them-
trouble with YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube gets angry with
Yeah.
us already.
Yeah, we don't want to make them any more angry, and which is why I've just taken one meme that's I think it's good and I think it's funny. The first one is not. It was sent to me directly by actually the person that was in charge of that chat. He's sadly not around anymore. That's a different story. We will not get into that. Let's keep this happy. So I will send the meme right now. I think it's hilarious. There it is.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Oh my god. It's hilarious. I love it.
No, I love this. I love this.
Also, just note that Sonic's also saying something in two of the panels, and it makes it even more hilarious.
Do you know why I always wear big gloves and socks? This is why.
Yes, glorious.
You know what? Honestly, based.
And this is my
Sonic,
headcanon.
based.
It's my headcanon that he can just do this. Ever
You
since
know
I've
what?
seen it for
Yes.
the first time.
I am fine with this headcanon. 100% approved.
Yes.
So, what is your second meme?
Oh, we're already doing that. Okay. This
Yeah,
is
we'll
not
just
the
go
one
right in a row.
Okay, this is not from Ritzel's Keller, but I think it's very funny. So, give it a second. Okay, smart guy, find the curved line. Find it.
Oh, good
Oh,
God,
it's
it's one of these optical illusions.
Yes,
Ooh.
find the curved line. Find it for me, smart guy. It does not exist.
There is.
Yeah.
There
There
is
no
none.
curved line. Yes.
It's like the cake. It's a lie. Is that just a really old meme that everyone forgot?
probably.
Portal.
I'm cringe, but I am free.
So I still remember the cake is a lie. I still know it.
Thank
It's still
you.
fun.
Oh yeah, I love
I,
Portal.
I think it's still funny.
Honestly, Portal's
Okay,
awesome.
now,
I can't believe it's
to
on
the
Switch
meme.
now.
Okay, now to the meme
Oh,
that I
yeah.
got from the Not Safe for Work shit shack. It's not safe for work in any way, but it's still funny. And first a question. Do you know what maned foxes are?
When made foxes are?
Maned. Not made, maned.
I do not.
Okay, then before I send the meme, I will get a picture for maned foxes for you that I will send.
Oh yeah, these guys.
Yeah, the long-legged ones
Yeah.
that are 70% leg, like me. I'm 70% leg. I have very long legs. I'll send
Oh, yeah,
a
these
picture
guys.
into the chat. I'll send a picture into the into the Discord chat, so you have
Mhm.
something to put into the episode. Here it is. This is the main fox. They have very long legs, which is
Kind of cute.
yes, it is really cute and really funny.
Cute.
But and now to the meme. I will now send the meme, which is so hilarious. Do not question the elevated one, mortal.
Very nice.
That's good.
Just, I like to imagine his legs just keep expanding.
Yes.
Like he's like Elastigirl from The Incredibles here. You can just keep going. But only his legs.
Yes, because and originally it was called Niki's Not Safe for Work Shit Check, right? And she posted it and sent it to me directly as well. And we mostly talked on Telegram where there are like a lot of stickers, right? And we had a Fennec Fox pack where like the legs was a separate sticker, like the top of the fox was a sticker, the legs were a sticker, and then the feet of it were a sticker. And we took turns seeing how long it took, how long we could make the legs of the foxes. Like just leg stickers of the fox before we got bored of it and sent the feet. I think the longest one was me with like 25 stickers of just leg.
Just
And it was like 99.9% leg.
he's just like, oh man, I would
So
if I
for
had
me,
that
this
sticker
meme
pack,
seemed a
I
lot
would
funnier
just
before that.
I would get so spammy. So I have a little introduction to my meme. Okay.
Okay.
I
Like the
I
Nick
actually
Fennec
rehearsed
Fox
this on
or the main
I
fox.
rehearsed
We
this
call
on the
them
phone with
Fennec
Reed a
foxes
couple
because
times.
they're cute, but like they're main foxes.
But they're
Sorry.
cute.
Sorry to interrupt.
So here's my rehearsed intro. Gentlemen, since the beginning of humanity, we have had one enemy, the boogeyman. And over the years, we have invented with our peak science and technology something to ward off the boogeyman, the stuffed animal. These have been very effective of protecting us as we take our nappies. However, we've only played defense over these years. Now it's time to play offense. I present to you the peak of science, the buff teddy bear. Now you can eliminate your boogeyman enemies immediately.
Why do I want it though? Like actually,
God, it's warm.
it makes me think that of something from the like. I don't know if anybody's seen the meme I posted, but like it makes me think it
Yes.
would be something from that anime Dun
Yes.
Dun.
It does
I
feel
have
like
not
something
seen
from Don to
Don.
Don.
It does.
I have not seen Don.
It's good. It's good. I don't think it's,
It's
worth all
alright.
the.
It's,
I don't think it's worth the hype
okay.
that everybody's saying, but it's definitely a good
It's
anime.
overhyped for sure, but
Oh my God.
it has some very creative action scenes.
Yeah.
But like,
It's-
yeah,
it's a shonen anime.
yeah, that's pretty much all it is.
It's
But,
a
dude,
Okay.
it's a shonen anime with all the weirdness that comes with shonen anime.
yeah.
Speaking of shonen anime being weird, how many of you guys have seen Bleach?
I have not
My
seen
sister loves Bleach. I don't.
I have it.
I
Oh,
have not
damn.
seen Bleach, but I know a bit about it.
It's interesting, Curl. I could have sworn I remember like your old character still. I could have sworn that it was like kind of based on Okora, one of the Arankar from Bleach, but
No, I mean I don't know Bleach at all. I mean it's
that's
heavily-
really surprising. I really thought
heavily inspired by the previous stills, right? The one of the armor. It was
Mhm.
heavily inspired by Fire Emblem and especially
yeah, Korin.
Yeah,
Base.
because it's also my Smash Bros main, so yeah.
So that's mine. That is
Oh,
one of the two
Base.
main characters.
Anime
That is
character.
Ichigo's face on Orihime's body.
okay.
I see.
I mean, I don't know neither character, but it's still funny to me. Because the face, it's just the eyes, nose, and mouth just feels so out of place.
It is a very "this is fine" energy.
Yes,
You know, like
yes,
like the "this is fine" dog. Like
yes.
they're just giving me that energy.
Yes.
For some reason, okay, this is how like Sonic brain rot I am. When I first saw the
God.
body, I was like, "Is that Elise from Sonic 06?" Because I'm horrible. So let's do the Q&A segment real quick. I should
Yes.
probably sing before we sign off, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. How did I sing it before? Guess I'll make it up again.
Wow, that was powerful.
Yes.
Thank
Also, I
you.
love how my beatboxing was totally A, not very hearable, and B, totally not on beat with whatever Parnell was doing.
I wish I would have heard it.
Also, I didn't pick
So
up. That's too bad.
today's
fine.
question comes from your artist, DJ
Yeah.
Fox.
He's a cool guy. He's a
He
really
writes,
cool guy.
what comes first in your opinion, script or
Mhm.
video?
That's a really good question, actually. It's a
It
really,
is.
really good question.
I think it's very much a preference thing.
Yeah.
Personally, the
Sorry.
script is the very first thing I do.
Yeah,
I always write
which makes
script
sense.
first.
Which makes sense for me.
And oh yeah, like it's very much like my scripting process. I'll write an entire season over the course of a year while I'm
Yes.
animating the previous season,
The
and that's what you're releasing.
dedication is really admirable. The dedication is really admirable.
Thank you. And
Seriously.
and
That's
I'll
something
send it
that
to like
I should
proofreaders and
where I really should take a slice out of your book, and take it into what I do. Just write it all. Because like for the book I'm writing right now, I have so many ideas. And it's gonna be so fun. Because it's a writing collab with my then boyfriend, now ex, who also did some animation work
Mhm.
for me lately. It's really fun. And I think it'll be really cool. And I've talked about it on, I think, Parnell's Discord ages ago. It was ages ago.
I think you did. You might have,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I recently scrapped it all. I've deleted the whole book, saving nothing
You
of
deleted
it.
it.
I nuked it, and I'm rewriting it all. Because A, I've given the main character on the cover a better design, so it's more accurate to what he actually looks like. And I've just gone, and it's way more eye-catching and more interesting cover than the first one. Because I feel like the colors in the first one blended together a bit. And you've seen the character posing and the colors of the character because I've sent it to you, Parnell, because we've talked about art
Yeah.
in DMs before.
We talked about.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
We talked about the art. Okay. I'm really tired.
Now back to Jay's question. For
Right.
me, it's actually really mixed because sometimes what I do is, especially if I know the game well and I played it a lot, I just write the script all in one go before I even do an ounce of recording. I mean, my scripts generally
Really?
always go before voiceover, which makes sense. And yeah,
Mhm.
sometimes, like for example, with it's a video that's in production. It was originally a planned collab with someone else, with another German creator that does videos in English.
Mhm.
At the time, he did challenge runs of Pokemon, and I was going to do a Older Gold video on Pokemon Black, which I still want to do because it's an amazing game that's not appreciated enough from how I always see it. And I've recently even, like a few days ago, I got a new DS, new DSi, and I've been replaying the game, and oh my god, the nostalgia's hitting hard. But I have the script entirely written out. I'm still making small changes, but I haven't even recorded a single second of it all. Mostly because I record these quote unquote older games. Like my rule with Older Gold is it's games that are like more than 10 years old, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's
So
about like what the standard is for retro, right? That's what people
I think
consider
so.
it, which is wild to think that people now consider the
Yeah.
Wii U retro.
Yeah, God.
I hate that
You
so
know?
much.
About the Wii, I have a funny story, but I can talk about it afterwards. But it's really funny because I gifted my Wii to a friend so he can play Mario Kart Wii online because he's obsessed with it. And I was like, yeah, I have a Wii, I rarely use it, and like I wanted to use I recorded a bit with him because he also has a small YouTube channel, though he just screen records it all through his phone. And his whole channel is very, very, very early, very early YouTube recording vibe, and I think it's really, really sweet. Like no voiceover, just gameplay, and recorded with a phone. But it's
God,
really fun.
Vietnam flashbacks.
Same, same.
We've all done
Same.
it. We've all done it in
Yes.
our lives.
Yes.
I will never reveal my high school Let's Play channel. I will never reveal it.
Same.
I don't care if
Well-
someone finds it, but like I just don't want to reveal it because it's funny.
I've nuked
Not
it.
to reveal it.
I've generally nuked it before I started this channel. Because my private channel, the one I mostly watch YouTube videos on, or watch everything on, which is literally called Photographer Kuro Private, because like, why would I need another name from private channel? I just wanted it to be known that it's my private channel. I just use it because it has
Fair.
all my subscriptions and my main stuff is on it goes over different accounts. My uploads, right?
It's kind of like how I use my old Let's Play
And
channel. I still
It's
use
the
to watch
reason why
things.
and that's the reason why my old account actually has like 60 subscribers or something like that, which is hilarious. And we do not talk
But
about
yeah,
it.
so
We do not
circling
talk about
back
it. I was an
to-
awful person. We do not talk about it.
so let's
We do
circle
not talk
back
about
to
it.
the question from before because
Yeah,
I
because
don't think
for me it's mixed.
Spark or Pyro gave their answers.
As I said, for me it's
Um,
mixed. Sometimes I write it all before. Sometimes I actually write it while I'm recording, which sometimes makes editing harder for me because there's like these pauses when I'm just standing still in game or just writing things down.
Guys,
Okay, I'll end it now.
we've been recording for 2 hours and I still have a trailer to finish for Parnell Direct. Can we please hurry this up?
Okay.
But when it comes to films and anything that is more story based, and obviously it would go scripts before anything else. But yeah, no, that is my point. Yeah. And thank y'all so much for watching YTFA. I hope you guys appreciated this episode and such a
long episode. I made it
Yep,
so
that
chaotic.
is-
I am so sorry.
No,
But
it's-
we got a lot of
fine.
good
I'm
information out, dude. Thank you.
No,
for coming.
it was a
I
lot
am
of good
so
information.
sorry.
Like you used your
that's great.
time well.
We're not
thank
used
you so much.
to we're not used to guests coming so prepared. If we would have knew how long the episode was going to be, we would have like probably planned it out a little better.
We should wrap up the
Anyway,
episode.
yes, that is certainly all the time that we have. If you'd like to get your
Thanks for
content
having
reviewed in
me,
our
man.
review specials,
Bye.
make sure to submit your videos to the YTFA subreddit, Blue Sky, Threads, or the Discord. With that said, remember to keep at it and keep improving.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the YTFA podcast. If you like this episode, you can give us support by following us on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, and now Instagram. Thanks again, and we will see you in the next one.